Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Oh my god, Peter almost died. Man, that would be a weird way to end the case. It's like he died by a parked car. Anyway, welcome back to Spider-Man 2, and I kind of left you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger there, but yeah, we're back and we're meeting Otto Octavius this part, so that's fun. Um, and like I said, it's voiced by Alfred Molina. Too bad James Franco didn't voice Harry in this game, but he came in for Spider-Man 3 and delivered pretty much the same performance he did in the movie, which is like he was high the whole time. Probably more so high for the game recording, but whatever. Anyway, it is weird because it's like they bring in, like, they have Josh Keaton come in and he was supposed to play Spider-Man and Peter Parker or whatever. And then they got Toby at the last minute, so they had all of Josh's lines as Spider-Man. They put into that secret Green Goblin bonus thing for an optional objective and stuff. And then they bring him back in two for Harry, and for the third game he isn't back as Harry. So that's weird. They got way more cast members for that game now that I think about it. They got Toby. They didn't get Kirsten. They got James Franco. They got Thomas Hayden Church, and they also got Topher Grace, J.K. Simmons, and I think there's one more that I'm forgetting about, but I might be wrong. I'm not sure. So yeah, this part is I didn't talk about this during the intro, but this part is going on a little longer than the others. I just kind of lost track of it, and I don't know why I didn't make it I don't know why I didn't make it shorter. I didn't cut it off earlier, but shit happens, I guess. But yeah, we got another car chase that we got to take this person down. There is a few occasions where it's like you'll be doing a car chase, whether or not it's thugs in the car or just some random person's brakes going out, which is nice. I like that kind of stuff where it's just ordinary people who are put in these situations that are out of their control, and they need Spider-Man to assist them in a way. So, oh geez, I just heard Toby go wham, and that reminded me of the DS game, which is a travesty. The DS version sucks. Do not play the DS version, kids. It is not a very good port of Spider-Man 2. I'll talk about it one day for a reported episode, but it is not a good time whatsoever. It's unnecessarily difficult, and it just, all of the missions, it's not very fun to control either. Like the first mission by itself is a train wreck, because it's like you start outside, you're right next to your little dirt bike thing, and it's like, okay, you're it's a 2D side scroller for one thing, and it's like, okay, whatever. And then you get, you're supposed to get to this burning building which has people still inside it, and it's like, okay, or whatever. The people who put the building on fire, they're two thugs and whatnot. They're all disposable, fucking whatever. Who cares? And then you get to the missions afterwards are the same, where it's like literally a mission will take you up to 10 minutes for each of them, and it's just like, what? And the boss fights are unnecessarily difficult. It was a game that I have a little bit of history with on the DS, where I got it as it was a Christmas present from my grandparents, or they bought the game for me. We were visiting them at the time across the country, and I was like 6, 7 years old, probably 6 years old. And or no, I was probably 7. I forget. 7, yeah, 7 years old, something like that. So we're visiting them across the country, and we went to a store, and we all got DSs that year for Christmas, which we played a ton of. I played a ton of my DS. Mostly it was New Super Mario Brothers, but we were there visiting visiting them for like visiting across the country. We were there for a while, a long while it felt like. And so I remember we got it at a store or something, or maybe it was. Oh, we did get it at a store. I also got some Superhero Squad figures of Spider-Man 3 or something. Yeah, it was something like that. I had whatever. Anyway, so I got the DS game and I played it. I played it for one night. I barely got through the first mission. Didn't even get through the second one. And I lost that copy of the game. And I have no idea where it went. I have no idea what happened to it. Like, I just lost it. Like, I didn't have it on the way home. And so... Spider-Man, don't you let that person fall. I'll beat your ass. It's only 20 seconds. Jeez. That's not a lot of time, but I guess it's appropriate. Anyway, so for years I didn't play it and I didn't get that copy back and whatever, but it wasn't until I started working in my teens and I discovered the site that was Amazon.com, and I would buy video games from there, and I bought Spider-Man 2 for the PSP and the DS. And I was like, okay, I can have my childhood game back. It sucked. I hated every minute of it. I played through the whole game. I don't know how I got to the very end, but I did. And I hated the whole experience. And it was a train wreck. That DS port is awful. But yeah, since I'm talking about ports of Spider-Man 2, I guess I should cover the other ones. I guess I'll talk about the GBA one next, which everybody likes the GBA version of Spider-Man 2. I don't. I never did. I never had a fondness for it. Even back then, I tried it on various occasions. I used to have a multi-cart of the first two Spider-Man GBA games. And I don't know what happened to it, but I ended up losing it at some point. I found it at school. Like, somebody had dropped it. And I was like, okay, it's mine. It's mine now. And, oh, there's another kid crying. Oh, jeez. You're not getting the balloon back. Just hear the distant cries in the background. Something about that is just kind of funny to me, but I don't know. But, so years later, Amazon, I got the GBA game again. And by this point, I played Ultimate Spider-Man on GBA. I played Spider-Man 3 and other stuff. And I played the first Raimi game on GBA. Like, it wasn't, like... I just didn't care for it, honestly. Like, it wasn't that great. I don't know what it was either. It just never clicked with me for whatever reason. So, and then the last one I played was the PSP version of Spider-Man 2, and that one is an interesting case because it is it's basically a retread. Like, it has all the mechanics and stuff from the first Raimi game, but it's just on the PSP. Like, there's no open world, there's none of that. It's all mission based, and you get hero points at the end of a mission. You can spend upgrades and all kinds of... It's definitely something to look at in the future. But it has, like, it's literally all the mechanics from the first Raimi game on the PSP. Most of the missions are like, it's following all of these games. All of these versions are following the plot beat for beat, but or like loosely following, except for Spider-Man 2 and PC. That's doing its own thing. Well, actually, no, it's still doing it, but it's very strange and very short too. Yeah, that game is it's all the mechanics and stuff. And I played it like years ago. Like, I did a whole thing of it. I played through the entire game, and whatnot, and like it was interesting. It wasn't necessarily great, but I thought I was gonna like it way more because it's like, okay, this is the version of, oh yeah, here's the spider senses and stuff. It just slows down everything. I guess that's kind of neat. Also not really, but whatever. One thing I hate in this game is people blocking your regular punches. And in most cases, there's going to be situations where it's like you're fighting up to 8 people at a time, and they're all just going to be attacking you one by one, and you won't have the reaction time to counter each and every single one of them. At least later, there's like a whirlwind attack you can get. But anyway, yeah, I played the PSP version, and I just, like, I went through the whole game, and it was like, yeah, whatever. And then Spider-Man 2 on PC. Oh, Spider-Man 2 on PC. That was interesting. I did a whole video you can go watch. That was a unique experience that I haven't gone back to. Well, actually, no one. I did go back to it after I made that video because later on in that year I reviewed Spider-Man 3 the movie, and there was a joke in there where it was like, I wonder what villains he's fought. It's like, is Puma canon to the movies? Because in the Spider-Man 2 PC game, there's a whole chunk of the game, or a whole string of missions where you're fighting the Puma, which is a very obscure Spider-Man villain, which is kind of like he's kind of Craven, but he isn't. But it's weird. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but so I wrote that joke in the script and whatnot, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do here? Like, how am I gonna do it? Am I just gonna use somebody else's video? And it's like, well, I guess I can just play my own because you guys didn't see it in the recording, but I played another mission where it involved a bank robbery. It was basically the bank robbery from the movie with Doc Ock, but it was like more elaborate, and you're going through multiple levels and all kinds of other shit, and it's not very good. So, ow, damn, that hurt. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, where it's like they attack you, they knock you to the ground, and then there's already somebody else going in to attack you, so you don't have any time to react or whatnot. So, like, it can get frustrating. This game's not hard, but at various points it can be kind of frustrating, but it's whatever. So we have to pick up, what was it? We have to go to MJ's place, and then we also have to go to, we also have to pick up these tokens here. I don't know, something like that. Figuring it out. Or whatnot. So yeah, I did the recording of Spider-Man 2. I got to the end of like the first 2 missions, and I was just like, well, the second mission, I'm not really talking in there. There's not really many jokes I can do. I'll just close it off there. And so I cut that whole sequence, and I kept just the tutorial in because that was where most of the best reactions were. And I wrote that joke in the script for Puma, and I'm like, okay, the next mission that's after the bank heist is the start of the Puma levels. Let me just play the first little bit of that so I can meet Puma and get that footage. So I have not gone back to that game since then, and I definitely plan to for a reported episode whenever we get to Spider-Man 2. There's so many ports to play. There's PC, PSP, DS, Game Boy. There's even the N-Gage version, which Alter would probably be pissed if I didn't include the N-Gage version, but I gotta find a way to emulate that and make it so that I can actually play the N-Gage version instead of just stealing somebody else's footage. But or sorry, not stealing, borrowing. I'm borrowing their footage. Anyway, I'll have to message him and see if he's found a solution for that. he tried we were on a call one day and he was like, should I download an N-Gage emulator? And I'm like, I don't care. So he tries it and it gave him a virus. He was just like, okay, we're not going to use that. I think he tried looking online and there was somebody saying that the only way to play N-Gage games was to use an actual N-Gage, like not game emulator necessarily, but a phone emulator. So it's emulating what on the phone, and yeah, I don't know. But that game is basically the Spider-Man 2 PSP situation where the N-Gage port of Spider-Man 2 is basically one-to-one the GBA version of Spider-Man 1. It's a weird set of circumstances, but it is, that's how it was, and that's where it ended up being, I guess. So now we gotta catch a black cat. You're following, but you're getting a little behind there, Spidey. You gotta hurry up. I think there we go. We made it. We did it. But yeah, there's so many different ports to look at, and that video is probably going to be either really massive or very short because it's just like, what do I do? What do I talk about here that I just don't care to talk about anywhere else? But I don't know. It's probably going to be a long while before we get to reported episodes on Spider-Man 2. I was debating if I should do like a retrospective kind of thing where it's kind of like a marathon of like different handheld Spidey games throughout the years. But anyway, this part we basically talked about nothing except ports. Anyway, I will see you guys for the next 4 videos about Spider-Man. This is going to be exciting. So yeah, have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching and take care of yourselves. See ya.